What's going on YouTube? I'm just gonna run through a little bit of my history. So let this be known. I started on Bedrock probably about 8 years ago. Didn't play every day when I first started, just played creative with the kids. It was pretty fun creating things, so been playing on survival for about 4 years. This world I'm about to show you is relatively new, about 3 months old, 4 months old, just before Christmas, so not too old. And this is the same seed my first world was on, but the files got corrupted, every single last one of them, so I had massive build project city thing going on, and building castles, draining ocean monuments, all that good stuff, and lost it all. So took about a week break before Christmas, realized I really like Minecraft. I don't really mind that I lost all that stuff, even though it's kind of hard to imagine repeating all that building I did on here, but comes with the bedrock territory. You're not always guaranteed to have your files saved and uncorrupted. One stupid mistake like letting your cat walk by and unplug your PlayStation, and all the progress you made is going backwards. So just recently made a decision, instead of trying to rebuild something I had before, to maybe upgrade to the Java version of Minecraft, just because after all the videos and all the creators I watch, there's nothing really comparable between the two with the technical aspects of the game, like mob farming and all that, and I'm getting more interested in redstone by the day. Since I lost the first world, I've practically been slowly concentrating on redstone builds to make my life a little easier with gathering the resources. But this is my starter cave. I really haven't moved out of it in the past 4 months. Usually when you create a new world, you take your time, you build a starter house, and I just wanted my former glory back of my city and all that, so I just dug myself in a hole and just started grinding for resources to help me rebuild the things I had before. So took the time to build up the farms that I needed first, and really put an effort into learning the redstone aspect. So, but I was motivated for the first week or two, and I did massive projects trying to rebuild my little enchantment house, and I actually spawned on the other side of this river, and if you build in the spawn spots, you will spawn at the highest location. So I terraform this area in my last world, make a huge plateau up there and a house. I had concrete maker and everything up there, and really I would just spawn in my starter house over there. So no matter if I broke a bed or anything like that, I would always make it back. You know, it's not the best choice to use your spawn chunks for starter homes on Java, so I'm relearning pretty much the game slowly. I'm planning by April 4th, 2021 to have the Java version all set up, ready to start a new world to help remotivate me to not be shy to just do these massive builds in projects, and regardless of if you want to take a break or not, you can always come back to the worlds, and playing on a computer is going to help me feel secure enough to spend the time mining the sand and the gravel for concrete, and really put extra effort into taking care of the item list to properly build the things how I want to build them, instead of building mob bases, the base of a mob farm with stone or cobble. I would like to get back to using the concretes and being enthused with the grind it takes to set up the farms so you can actually progress towards that end game stuff. It's not easy grinding every single resource in the game out, so just make these farms to help you make easier builds. We're not necessarily, the bigger they get doesn't make them harder. If you had all the resources in the detail blocks to build it, it's just a matter of time of placing them. So there's some projects in this world I'm trying to replicate in my last world, same seed and everything, so I know where all the spawners are. So when I restarted this world, I went specifically for spawners, start creating that grind so I can repair tools when I need them, because that early game grind of repairing your tools when you're doing digging and all that is pretty ruthless. So, but here on Bedrock, you can actually make drone farms with just flooding a zombie spawner, having them come up and drown in water, and you can actually get gold from it. Last time was more prone to take my time with the projects and make it fully sustainable, like these items will pop out into furnaces so I can smelt the gold armor down and the iron armor down into ingots, and it was highly detailed in every aspect of the game. So every time I took on a project of a building a spawner or something, it was 100% thought through. Every block was replaced to something I wanted there, instead of something, oh, it's already there, I'll just make it all stone, or it's not the best looks. I'm more towards whatever it takes to get what I'm envisioning. I'll do. I don't care if it takes you an extra 2-3 hours mining sand and gravel just to have an extra layer on your skyscraper, just so it actually looks decent when it's far away. But first projects was things like this zombie spawner in my little cave. This was see, they start drowning, and you can get gold ingots and all kinds of stuff. It's not just a rotten flesh and zombie armor bowl. So it's actually drone drops, so I can get gold early game, because I didn't want to have to fight a bunch of Endermen for pearls. I was just doing the hoglin trading. So once I got the zombie spawners, got a XP source, it wasn't long before I wanted to do massive resource gatherings with hoglins, so I built a gold farm. These gold farms are only portal based overworld, so it's not the best source of gold, but it pumps some gold out. It doesn't have a problem fueling my needs. It's just time consuming actually AFKing. Usually I like to just sit in the area and just whatever resources I get after building it is usually enough to last me however long, unless I'm building, like last time, a guardian farm, because those blocks are so nice to use. I'm always sitting there AFKing, revamping aesthetics, trying to make old buildings new again, and it's never, buildings are never established with me. Like, I've had this since day one. I wanted to put the enchantment in here like I had in the last world, but it's like I built this building and nothing came of it. I just barely sleep in here. I'm not even motivated, is what I would say, because there's nothing I could do to this world that would compare to the detail and time I put into the last world. Even if I wanted to spend the time, I just don't have that same aspirations for detail, being able to set out all the blocks to make sure they're matching properly, and if not, taking the time to tear down a building 3 or 4 times and redoing it just to get the exact aesthetic of what I'm looking for. But my last world, this same seed, but the first time I played through it, I had started terraforming this mountain. I was making a volcano, and it was I would say about halfway done. I had the outline and the aesthetics, the look. I didn't detail the build or nothing with different textures, or I just had wasn't much higher than this tree, probably about 10 blocks, but I had the look of a volcano. I didn't have the lava flows like I wanted or anything, the couple little bit of lava spills down the side or nothing like I wanted, but it was in the process, which was one of the things I like. Even though building a guardian farm or draining an ocean monument's hard work and it's grueling and everything, but once you have it done, you get the full gratification of being done. And then if you lose it, hey, at least you had the visual aesthetics of you being fully done with a place before you lost it. And this volcano wasn't close to being, it was maybe close to halfway of being detailed out, and just practically the outline done, and just gonna spend as much time as I did on the outline as on detailing. And it was pretty fun to think of the time I spent on it, the weeks it took to, mine the blocks. I'm not a huge insta miner like for diamonds, so I don't go out and mine huge swaths of stuff underneath, blocks underneath, trying to look for diamonds or nothing, so I don't usually have massive reserves of mined out blocks. I usually am objective, where if you're going to build something, just mine the blocks you need instead of having them sitting around and just taking up massive storage, and instead of doing extra mining, just mine enough where your world is still, you're not going to dig down a block and fall in a massive pit or something. But so this is my main storage building. This is the first thing I started rebuilding once I got some good equipment, and I'm trying to replicate my spaceship from last time. My rocket last time was as tall and as big around, but it was just massively detailed. I didn't just use white concrete or nothing. It was in black concrete. It had diorite, concrete powder, every kind of detail bits on it already. I spent, I don't even want to exaggerate, probably I don't know, maybe 20 hours on building, 50 hours totally on this part. I had a mob museum, so every time I killed a dragon, I'd put up a memorial gear, you know, so I had a lot of interesting aspects, and I had caged every mob in the game, and they were just the massive museum right here, and then on each side of the gate was Ravagers when you walked in, and then you looked across and it was looked like a missile silo, and it was all detail. I had trees in it. It started looking overgrown and everything. It wasn't nothing massive I was building was fully done. It was always a thing. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna finish this. I wanted a certain look and I just didn't know how to get it, so I walked away for a little bit. But there's a lot of opportunity in Minecraft to express like all different kinds of intelligence and just excitement. It's one of the few games where you can just choose one part of the game and just play it for days. One aspect, combat, where you can take a whole day and fight the dragon 20 times, or you can gather the wither heads and fight wither all day long, or manipulate these mobs in that's just one aspect of the game. Combat. What about the building aspect, where you're actually building structures or things that motivate or inspire you to keep playing, or maybe even to keep adventuring, which is another aspect of this game you can do for the rest of the time you play. Just wander around. If you want to wander, you can wander and wander. So that's another whole game all on its own, just adventuring. So you got combat, adventuring, building, just the sheer amount of things that can be accomplished with placing blocks in a certain direction. Like this was my number one favorite place in this world. When my first time I built it, it was so fun to just fly over here to the rocket and you just dump all your items. I had shuckler box unloaders and all that, and now it's just like this simple petty. So, I'm not even sorting all the way. I got 2 or 3 more layers to start filtering, and I have to gather the items so then I can place them in to sort them. This was already done once, and this was the reason why I was like happy to get on every day and just be playing all the time. Was when I first started playing, it was like, oh, everything's so chaotic, you got everything everywhere. Now you can just throw it in a machine and everything's going to be sorted. Oh, what? You have to go down 2 or 3 floors to get to the wool, but it's sorted, and guess what? The wool is going to be in there if you have any. You're not going to look through 1400 chests looking for specific items. So this is what upgrades Minecraft in my mind to the next level, where you not only can benefit off of just the amount of work you do in the world, you can organize it, but when you're going to build projects, you just come here, oh, I'm gonna do the terraforming aspect. Well, you need all main building blocks I put up here in ores, and then when you start getting into detailing and all that, you go down further. So my biggest thing I'm using is concrete. Not every single piece, but I am using lots of different concrete, and it's pretty fun knowing, like, hey, you can run right to this system as long as you already manually set aside a spot for a specific item. Usually you'll know exactly where it's at. I put the oxide daisies in here is why I know the oxide daisies are here, so it's pretty rudimentary, it's basic, it's not as complicated as some of the multi-item systems you can have in Java, which I am looking forward to, which is another reason I'm excited to get going on this new world, maybe start streaming all the time, because I'm interested in being a part of the community and hearing people's feedback, and if they actually do like some of the builds I do create. And it's not easy work, these grinds, to get the material to build these projects, but I'm hoping my enthusiasm and the way I'm looking at things and my personality helps inspiring and gets me an opportunity to be part of this community. But I don't know, other than that, I can show you a couple things I built, but there's not much in this world. Building wise, like if I built these farms, I put a rough exoskeleton, not even caring for detail as much as just rushing through builds, trying to rebuild something out of memory to its former glory, which it's not working at all. Like my sugarcane tower, it was like 15 stories tall. Or my wood farm, I was trying to rush through and I just kept blowing up, so I was like, whatever, it's gonna dig down the bedrock for me. And then it didn't. It's like, oh yeah, thank you. So bedrock really laid the groundwork for me to be really interested in this game. It's just hard to step up to that next level of redstone and actual connectivity to the community, because no offense to the PlayStation, but until I get my computer and being able to edit these videos, there's no real way to export it unless I'm willing to spend a couple $100 on external hard drives and all those types of BS that comes with being a system player, which isn't bad when you're broadcasting, because it's pretty simple to get connected in that aspect without the comments and everything. It's just hard to reply. So once I get used to talking to myself, it's going to be a lot easier to just coax back into Minecraft, because right now the motivation was gone. Like, I lost that huge world and I have started a new one, but it's not the same. It's not the same where if you chose to start a new one, you still have your old world to go back to and look at, and right now it's still rough to come here on this PlayStation and see what is and then remember what was, because we devolved a lot. And it's not just in building, it's building, just the sheer amount of resource gathering last time, and then trying to place the resources you gather into the world as things. I did it a lot easier, and when it's fun, it's better. So I'm switching to Java, hopefully reinvigorate my interest with the feeling of being able to keep, because if you can't keep the world, even if it's an old file or whatever, just not being able to just go back to it is just a little rough. And then I can only slightly remember how things were laid out, like my bird cage above this thing. Like, I can imagine it. Could I replicate the same thing I did last time? Well, so long ago I could get it near, but it's not going to have the same enthusiasm when the world regenerated. Now I would have to do massive terraforming to get it to get back to the tranquil setting I had. It was almost like felt like an Asian like one of those Asian backyard fields with the koi ponds and stuff. It was real nice. I had a lot of stuff. So to actually take on the task of trying to rebuild it was almost, I knew I wasn't going to be able to accomplish that. So, but there's nothing really going on here. I'm just wandering around showing you. I guess the only real big project I took on and practically completed was a wither skull farm, and bedrock is pretty harsh. It's not pretty. It's not like some of these Java farms you're seeing. It's organized. You just have to stop people from spawning. It's chaos, and you're never going to control the spawns. So one of the only projects actually seen through massive but they spawn. It's just nothing like you would think. Having a massive area slabbed over and everything, there's not much else I can do. I even was riding a strider around destroying all I still got more. The magma cubes come from there. That's stronghold portal, so always questioned about just taking it out, but I did it once before, and it's just hard to think about doing it again, trying to reclaim its former glory when I should have started a new one, a new glory. Instead of remember, oh, this building was here, I had every single block on this dang thing covered. And it used to be massive spawnage. But now I didn't even go into the dojo that much. just a little bit. I used to. Anybody who does slabbing, you gotta respect those people. You have to. If you play Minecraft, you have to respect those types of people. They are some of the most labor-intensive jobs on the planet. Like, it's not labor you think pushing a button, but a lot of people think NASCAR isn't physical. It's like you see those drivers get out of the car and they're just sweating. Watch the IndyCar drivers just sweating. All they're doing is pushing a pedal and turning a wheel. Well, yeah, do it at 200 miles an hour for 2-3 hours. So even if it's one finger, guess what? Your forearm's attached to that finger. So when you take on a project like slabbing the nether, you respect that person. Not me though. I did it once. This is relatively embarrassing. I don't even want to show you guys, to be honest. It used to be, I had a huge circle. I went out 128 blocks from the center of this. Because I didn't need mini skulls, but from the center of this, 128 blocks. That's what I get. Which one was that? So, it's just, but I'm excited. I'm getting excited for this computer, and April 4th, I'm gonna start streaming. Whole new world. I'll be a whole new player. It'll be on Java, which is kind of scary. It's like a whole new world. What's cool is I bought the Minecraft books, teach you how to build and stuff, so I should be good. Should be able to read them within the next 4 months. That's what it's going to take me to learn the controls on a computer. Uh-oh. Smack. It's like, no, I'm good, I swear. I swear. Okay, where are you guys coming from? So, I don't know. I guess, for my first video, I just wanted to say, I love you. Maybe not as much as what you feel, but as much as what I say. So, just hope there's some sort of interest in this. Keep going, and maybe normalize talking to myself, because I just have a hard time seeing. Like, if you guys ever talk to yourself, your mom walk in and be like, dude, what is wrong with you? You're going to see a psychiatrist tomorrow. But nowadays, it's like you create a community, you get some feedback, and people actually communicate with you. Like, what? If you talk to yourself? It's just hard to get into a mindset. So I'm hoping get some familiarity. I'll play a little bit of bedrock, show you a little bit more of my skills maybe. Throw out some content 5 days a week, because I do get a lot of time to be able to play and create, and I'm not really an inventor like redstone wise, but I have interest in it, and you put your mind to anything, you can accomplish it. So piston doors, all that in Java. I'm planning on leveling up my skills, like, you know how B-dubs, like, no offense to B-dubs, but how he does the block textures with all the, when he first started, like everyone else, you stick to blocks you know, and then he evolved, and then he went to a different level of building. So you all start at one level, so I'm pretty sure if I keep practicing the building, keep practicing, I'm gonna be as well off as and skilled as someone like B-dubs. I've been playing long enough to understand block mechanics. I'm just a bedrock player, so I'm not able to wander off into the redstone forest and just express my creativity, because here, if you're not sure where your chunk borders are, you do not build redstone. You do not build redstone. So them iron farms and them villager breeders, discount breeders, and all that, you don't mess around unless you know how to find chunk borders on bedrock. So a lot of people stay away from stuff like that, which is pretty fun. I like watching Silent Whisper and all those guys, so I'm familiar with everybody in the community. I'm just not known at all for any kind of skills, or if I even play. I'm just, it's kind of like a fringe thing around my house still, just because I didn't even really start playing massive Minecraft every day till I got injured a couple years ago, and there was just something about the game that made me feel less claustrophobic about being injured. So I just kept playing. It was fun. You lay these blocks and you just come back to them, and then you lay some more blocks, and then you come back to them, and it's just a really good feeling being able to play a game and just escape real reality and real life for a little bit and not have many problems to deal with while you're out here playing. And a lot of people don't respect games as much as they should, because there's a lot of opportunities for brain muscles to actually get wasted, and computers and mechanical workings of video games is the future. There's no way around technology not taking over, and these kids involved with these types of games and systems and all those are the future. There's no doubt. So a lot of the old generation really does frown upon playing, so when I've been injured, not working, so I can't really tell my family, oh, I love this Minecraft game, I'm building these things. So it's kind of like something you don't really talk about too much in the house, but my kids, they love it, and they see me building, and all they want to do is get on and build and try to try to help me do things and gather resources, and it's pretty fun. Having that type of involvement for my kids, so I can just imagine the actual community of knowledgeable people. You know, I'm not too old, so I'm only 32, so people around my age and the up and coming people we still haven't begun to watch yet. You know, just I want to be a part of the community, not so much you know, left on the outskirts like I have been. Now I have the opportunity with COVID and everything going on to just actually sit around and maybe get some good projects in where it gets me some notoriety for a little bit of skill. I'm not on any kind of SciCraft server level or nothing like this, but you see a little bit of the skills. Hey, you put your head down, you do the grind. A lot of people see Minecraft as a world, and then these blocks are like complicated to take away, and envision something replacing that block. And but I have enough interest in the game to see people in techniques that I want to replicate and I want to envision, so I can see past land or blocks. It's like one of those things. Oh man, I gotta go to jury duty. Me? It's not like that. So many people, like if Minecraft was equivalent to jury duty, I would want to go to jury duty. So a lot of people like the game, like the aspect of the game, but the put your head down and grind. So I don't want to just start a whole new Java world without a little bit of background of a little skill set. So I'm not like totally embarrassed when I come out to be a noob in Java, where the combat's going to be different, the spawning is going to be different. Is another huge reason why I do want to move over to the Java version, is because I'm ready to take on mob farm perimeters and things like this to manipulate mob spawns. I'm ready to move to that level where I can open up the game to not have I got this feeling playing PlayStation where, hey, this could go every block you place, it doesn't matter. Java would give me that security feeling where at the end of the day, no matter what happens, as long as you do the proper backups and you're subconscious of what's going on, you're never going to be too far behind. You're always going to have a pin mark where you can go, even if you're progress 3 or 4 weeks and you lose 3 or 4 weeks of progression, hey, it's better than 2 or 3 years in attachment to projects that you were unfinished and you thought you were going to wake up in the morning and play some Minecraft, finish some projects, maybe keep playing for another couple years and really get something where you could even put it in the download store where people want to play at, and it was always a cool feeling. But now that it was gone, it's kind of, how am I going to stay interested? Well, if I switch to Java, open up the whole world of manipulating and controlling every aspect of the game, because here it's not really a controlled I'll call it a controlled chaos. So chaotic and uncontrolled, like how pistons interact with mobs when you're on a multiplayer thing. Like I built 2 blaze spawners, and they would push them down with pistons in a triangle. I forgot who built it first, but when 2 players was on, pistons would pass through them and then pull them through, so then they would fall on the outside. Yeah, so just pull them through. They wouldn't push them off. They would go through them, pull them, and then they'd all be on the outside of the farm, never gathering in the collector. So this double blaze farm was sweet for single player, but once I lost fuel source, when you lose all your farms, it's kind of hard to. I'm gonna do it all over again in the same world, because I wasn't done with projects. I wanted to finish projects. I wasn't really in the process of starting any kind of projects or nothing like that. I just wanted to finish the ones I had going, and maybe not fully in detail and everything, but get it aesthetic-wise where you're flying by. So I had that ocean monument. I swear it took me, I don't know, I'd say maybe about 24, no, longer, over 30 hours to fully wall off and drain an ocean monument. I did 10 or 15 blocks, I can't remember, 10 or 15 blocks from the corner, and then I built almost like a sheriff badge outline around the ocean monument, and with glass, and I was using prismarine because I made it was 2 ocean temples next to each other, so I chose one to make a guardian farm, and the other one was close enough that I could load it when I was draining out the other one. So I got to build with ocean monument blocks, and it's not super easy on bedrock to sit here and AFK without any problems and actually not have something go wrong, because it's just a little different on here. There's not much, like, we're all stuck in the same little box. I feel like Java is a box, but it's a huge box, and they include some toys they don't let bedrock players play with, so it makes it more alluring for people like me to try to go see what it's about, see if it's better. I love the bedrock version just because I'm a GDA player too, so I played that for a long time online, and it's just easy to turn on the PlayStation and get going. I'm not sure what it's gonna feel like having to turn on a computer, getting everything ready for stream, and make sure it's just a little different. I don't know, I'm pretty not stressed, but kind of worried about this stuff. I don't want to mess anything up and throw an investment down the drain because they're not really in a position to do that, which I have money to invest in myself, but hopefully something comes of it. I'm lucky enough to have a community embrace me and see some skills they want to see. So, I don't know. I'm just excited. April 4th, I will be starting a new world, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the YouTube, if I'm going to just post live streams of me playing, or if I'm going to edit down to videos, or try to get a polished video out, because I don't know if that will be a daily thing, if that's the course I'm trying to take, because, hate to say it, I'm pretty picky, and I'm not the one to be uploading things that I'm okay with. I want it's gotta be perfect, and so editing down videos is an option. I'm just not 100% if it's the best style for me, because I'm still new, so I'm definitely gonna have to learn how to talk to myself regardless. I'm gonna have to figure out my own way to do it in my own style, because just talking and trying to, I have plenty of funny things to say still, but I'm not always the PG rated, so I'm trying to subconsciously always think about what I'm saying before I say it, make sure nothing offensive comes out when I'm just trying to be funny or something. So the more familiar I get with it, hopefully the more comfortable I get, and be able to enjoy the community and have a little bit of response and interconnectivity. So I don't know, just procrastinating now, so I'll leave you guys with that little bit of awareness. Tomorrow I'll get on and we'll do a little bit of building. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my plans for Java, what I'm hoping to accomplish, by the end of the year, because I plan on this side of Minecraft, the Java side, it'll be a forever community where someone always has interest in seeing people building things, and not saying necessarily new things, but there's things, and I just hope I get some agreement. Maybe I do have more building skills than how I feel, because there's people like B-dubs where you just idolize like how he puts blocks together, and not saying I'm comparable, but what I'm saying is a building style, you get comfortable with one and then you level up, and I'm ready to level up, take a new aspect of an old game. So best option, switch, get a whole new fresh feeling. And my main thought is security. So even if I lose 2 or 3 weeks worth of progress, it's still nothing compared to 2-3 years. So Alright. We'll catch you guys